So hi, I'm going to be showing you my painting process, and I want to first off apologize for the absolute shit quality that will be the camera trip or whatever the hell you want to call it, because I am just recording on my phone. I have, I obviously cannot edit a live video. But I do not have anywhere to put my phone or to set it up so you can actually see things. So if I set my phone down, I do apologize. I have no idea how to set this up so you can actually see what I'm doing. So we're going to try real quick to do something. This would work. If it didn't, it's any time for me to kind of bloody rock on. Okay, so somebody wanted me to show my process with drawing, and I agreed. Fantastic. So that's what we're going to be doing. I've said this multiple times. I am not good with explaining things, which is normally why I don't do videos. So, yeah. If you can hear what I'm watching in the background, I'm watching a movie while I'm doing this, so. So we're going to do a simple thing. Well, simple enough. And now also, yes, I know my space is a complete and utter mess. I doubt you will ever be able to talk to my mother, but if you do ask her about me, then she'll probably tell you that I work best in chaos or a mess. Or if you ask her how I paint, normally, this is not the setup I have currently, but mostly because I can't in the space that I have. I normally have this semicircle of everything. Like, I will have my paint. Well, I do have my paint over here. I have my palette over here. I have normally my paintbrushes would be next to my palette, but there are my paintbrushes. There's the water that I use, or the thing that I use for my water. The last time that was cleaned, I do not know. So we're just going to I honestly draw more anime type things. I prefer the style more than cartoon type stuff or words and things and words. I do not have a bloody eraser, so we're gonna go over here. And these are my plethora of pens. Got eraser. I probably have it somewhere in the abyss of everything. Fantastic. Also, I'm just gonna say, if you hear me say any, like, remarks that make no sense towards the video, I'm probably just remarking. Why are you yelling? Okay, like I just did, I'm reacting to the movie that I'm watching, which is Rose Red by Stephen King. That's the movie I'm watching. well, the one based off his book. Actually, the first one I watched wasn't the actual, this one, it was The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer. I think I said that right. That was the one I watched. It is a good one. I suggest watching it. I don't know, like, no one is probably gonna watch this other than the person who asked, and maybe some random people if it gets shared around. Obviously, no, it's not gonna be watched as a live video, but, yeah. Okay, sorry, I got distracted by that, but honestly, I'm gonna say that I'm doing some of this. I'm just doing with like one hand, and I am not used to that, so I do apologize. Also, I'm going to just say that I normally do females. I don't normally do males for a lot of reasons, or if I do, they normally have some long hair because I can't do short. I can do short hair, but I'm better at doing females than I am at female characters or drawings of females than I am doing males. I'm also an abstract artist. I do more abstract things. While I'm waiting for this to dry, I may actually show you some of my art. But anyways, I forgot what I was saying. I think it was something about me being an abstract artist, and if I do go and repeat points, I am sorry. I'm not exactly used to having real conversations while I'm painting. Sometimes I do, but even then, I am actually repeating things. That's normal for me. Please stick with me and stick with the horrible, horrible camera trick for this video. This part is normally just sketching everything out and everything. And this is probably like not the best ever. And I'm sorry, I normally have a reference drawing, or actually, if you see any of my paintings that I've done on my own without a reference, it's normally just this. Yes, yes, I can make apricots. I can do landscape later on, or I can do that now. Oh! I am actually, I used this on here, and I was going to do it like it was chalked onto this, and I'll do that later. That was fun. Okay. And I'll be kind of honest, I don't understand why, well, I understand why people talk when they do this. It's to, not bore people who are watching it. I can't. Also, if you want to have a fun time, well, this isn't actually fun. I do not find this fun. But you can paint or draw while looking around your phone. Because that's what I'm currently doing. Because that's what I'm doing. Okay, this is the fun part. By fun part, I mean I'm going to try to keep this stable. I'm going to copy it. Crap. And that fell. That's great. I apologize for that. Also, I don't know if you want to know what colors I'm using, but this is apparently lipstick red. I never knew the color, well, the name of that color, but apparently it's lipstick red. Thing is, if you know me or my family, you will figure out that I just don't pay attention to certain details when I'm doing anything in particular. I just do. Yeah, crap. Which honestly has advantages and disadvantages in most situations. I do not like doing this. Okay. That's just a ton of weirdness. This would honestly probably end quicker if, and my black's acting up on me, if I had the proper setup to actually set up my camera. Bouncing around with my phone and having to look over my phone. But we deal with what we got. Okay. Okay. that color. That's great. Just so many kinds of weird. But honestly, I don't really know how I came to do. We're gonna flip this just for convenience for me. Thanks. Um, I'm mostly self-taught when it comes to painting, especially when it comes to painting people. I have maybe watched a couple videos or looked up maybe some tutorials online, but mostly I figured stuff out on my own. It's probably also how well, I learned a lot about painting and art from my grandmother, who, if you knew her, which I doubt, well, most of you probably won't, um, didn't, or whatever. Um, she was a really nice woman, and she honestly saw the best in everyone. And she was really supportive of me. My family is really supportive of me and me wanting to paint. They really like my art, and sometimes I think it's just because, I'm family, they want to support me or just not let me give up on my passion, but it's also because they actually like what I do. Sometimes I forget that they can actually like what I do. So, yeah, that's something I sometimes forget about people I know, so they can actually like what I do. Um, Honestly, you should probably do your backgrounds before you do the foreground, but, uh, you know, I wasn't exactly thinking everything completely there. I was like, hey, I want to make this video. Oh, let's just start. So we just kind of started without making a plan about what I was going to do at all. Which is honestly normally how I do art. Just probably some of the reasons why I didn't get like the best grades sometimes in art class was kind of my screw you, screw whatever, screw planning. I just want to paint. I just want to do what I do. And so, I mean, if you're like that, there's nothing really wrong with having that mentality, but especially if you get things done and you do it the way that it needed to get done, then I really don't see the harm in you having a mentality like that, and I don't see the harm of having a mentality like that if I get what I need done and I get the end result that people want. Maybe I don't have the right, like, I did a few extra steps, so I didn't do the steps the way that they wanted, but I still got shit done. And I got the end product that they desired or wanted. And if that's the case, then that's really cool. You know, never really got why there was. Well, I get why there was rules in art class, and now we're just rambling about art class because, me and I'm socially awkward, but because there's this whole thing where like, yeah, they were teaching us how to do stuff, but there's also this thing where sometimes if you didn't do it the way that the teachers wanted it, or it wasn't exactly the way that the teacher envisioned you doing something, you wouldn't get full points, or you would be, looked at differently. And I get that. I get that everyone has like different expectations, and art is this like it is pretty much a living, breathing thing. But sometimes I think that people who are into this one type of art are just into that one type of art. Like they can. I've just seen people that are kind of rigid with art, and not in the sense that they have this particular way that they do things, and they're like, I won't lie, I am attached to my art style. I am attached to how I do my art, and I love it. It's what I'm comfortable with doing, and I get that other people can be attached. Other people are attached to their art styles, and they are more comfortable doing their kind of art, and I get that, and I honestly respect that. But sometimes I think people um, are kind of rigid in that way. Just, let them do them, but it's not the best way to do things sometimes. I need a smaller version of this because this is how I normally make clouds with a fan brush. But anyways, what I was trying to say with art classes was that you were, if you didn't have the certain skills that were needed to do a certain art style, or you weren't never good at doing, let's say, like a gesture drawing. It was kind of hard, at least for me, because I felt kind of dumb for doing the things that I knew I couldn't do, or seeing people doing what was wanted, or having these different art styles in class that were, or doing what I was doing and like a million times better. And that's a mentality that I've had for a while, and it's honestly kind of stupid to have, because you should just do what you can. You're doing your best. If you do your best, then you're doing obviously your best, and you should be proud of what you've done. And not everyone. The thing that I look back and I'm like, that was so stupid of me, was because in other classes that I had, I didn't feel that way in math or science or English. If somebody was better than me, I'm like, oh, they're just smarter than me, or they understand the content better. But with art, it was, or like track, I feel like it wasn't that understanding that, oh, hey, they can do this better. It was more of, oh, I'm not, well, obviously I don't practice enough with certain techniques, but it was more like it's not that I wasn't as knowledgeable as them, but it was more of this, I just not good enough. It's not, um, thing that people have, that if you're into, some people are good at sports, some people are good at art, and that's fine. They're just not good at it. If you are, um, as far as I've seen sometimes, if you're not good at math or reading, then you're seen as dumb. And that's not the case. You're just not good at it, or it's just not your area of expertise. And there's this. Now we're just kind of painting and discussing topics that come to my head somehow. But the point of, but anyways, um, they're just not good at, like, you can have someone who is really good at math or reading join an art class and do horribly, and they're like, oh, you're just not good at it. It's fine. But you have someone who is good at art, or is just good at physical stuff and doesn't excel at, who isn't extremely good, like maybe just a D student in another class or another area, then they're kind of seen as not doing good, or just not dumb per se, but dumb. But why I went off on that tangent was because when I was in art classes, that was actually how I felt about my art, was that I was dumb or something. Even though that I know that's more of a talent or something that you can learn, and I was still learning about it and still coming to terms with what um, I was capable of as an artist. And I'm still learning and testing boundaries, and I'm getting better at realizing that, hey, I'm just still a learning person in this area. That's a bit too dark, but we're going to deal with it. Just to outline this. We'll fix that in a few. Maybe. Who knows? But the whole thing of you're not smart because you're not good at something, or it's just kind of dumb. I think it was maybe, I'm going to quote someone, I want to say it was possibly Albert Einstein who said this. I don't really remember who said this. I'm not going to put words in anyone's mouth, but you can't judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree. And that's really true. You cannot judge someone on their ability to. Oh, I forgot what my train of thought there was, but my point stayed. Well, not the point, but the quote is actually probably a pretty good one. Well, it is a good one. I just completely forgot what the entire message of that was. All I'm horrible at explaining things. I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. But I honestly completely and utterly lost my track of thought there, and I do apologize. Um, I'm probably gonna go through and maybe look at this when everything's all said and done, and be like, oh, hey, that's what I meant to say, but I got completely and utterly sidetracked. Which is why I don't normally talk when I'm doing art or painting or working or something. I get sidetracked on what I'm saying pretty easily. I guess it's fine, but I guess it can be annoying for people that I'm talking to. I can't feel my arm. So I'm probably not going to spend um, the time that I'm normally going to on this piece, which doing eyes and I'm trying to find a particular brush. Sorry. And I just really don't want to spend time doing eyes. And off, second off, I don't want to. Well, not that I don't want to. I think that this will look better than having opened eyes in this particular piece. There we go. eyes are kind of off kilter here, but you know what? I'm just going to say screw it. Going to add over here. Probably not the best. Craptastic. I'm not very good at this. Okay. I'm gonna take this needle, and why I'm using a needle, I will get into maybe at a different. I don't have really fine brushes sometimes, so we're gonna use this. And there you go. That is my process. This is done. Picture of the person. I will actually pick this up and show you what it looks like this way. So I'm trying to see if I'm gonna touch up a few places or not. I think I'm gonna leave it the way it is, just because I like the way that it looks this way. And there is such a thing as doing too much to your art. What we are gonna take is this and kind of go through. Some of those knocked off. There we go. Now I'm probably gonna set it later when it dries, but there we go. That's my process. I do want to show you the one that I did yesterday. I need to add this eye and touch up this one a little bit, but when I'm done with that, then this one will be done. Anyways, have a good day, everyone. Thanks for watching.